सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So we saw the three types of vasanas which block the nishtha for a jnani. These obstacles are in the form of lokavasana, dehavasana and shastravasana, which is viparita bhavana. Fed by that, one becomes a karta bhokta and then thereby desires one thing or the other and remains in samsara. It causes a potential pitfall even for a jnani. Therefore, he has to work on that. He has to work on the removal of these obstacles. So that we saw in 272nd shloka. 273rd shloka is introduced by Vyakhyanakara by saying, Etat trayameva samyak jnana pratibandhakam ityaha. This triad of vasanas is a set of obstacles. This triad presents itself as an obstacle to nishtha, which is called as samyak jnana here. It does not let the right vision to arise in the first place. If the obstacles are not surfacing enough to obstruct the rise of knowledge, then the obstacles can present themselves as blocking the nishtha even after jnanotpatti. So samyak jnana pratibandhakam ityaha etat trayameva. Ityaha pramanikoktим मूलीकृत्य samsariti. So he takes this support samsariti मूलीकृत्य, showing what is the root of this. What is the root of this? That is shown here as the pramanas. He takes the pramanas and shows what is the root of this. Samsarakara grahamokshamichhoho ayomayam padanibaddha shrinkhalam vadanti tajñah patuvasanatrayam yosmad vimuktas saupaiti muktim. So this I said pramanoktim, the statements of pramana, shastra pramana, taking the support of that. So Moolikritya, taking the support of that, he is explaining that how these are obstacles to the samyak jnanotpatti and also nishtha later. So samsara karagraha, samsara itself is a karagraha. Karagraha is a jail. So samsara is like a jail. You find yourself bound. That's why we say bondage. Samsara is bondage. So samsara karagraha mokshamichho, one who desires for freedom, moksha, freedom from this samsara karagraha. So for him what? Ichhoho. For him ayomayam padanibaddha shrinkhalam. So the way a person is chained with iron. So with iron chains a person is bound. Similarly is this person bound in samsara through, and which is the chain for him? What is the chain which binds him to the samsara? So that is the comparison of this vasanatrayam, patu vasanatrayam. So this vasanatrayam is like ayomaya padanibaddha shrinkhalam. The way his 2 feet are bound by chain for a person who is jailed. Jailed is an old setup where the legs are tied up so that the person cannot run away. And chain is ayomaya, it is made of iron. Similarly, Patuvasanatrayam tajñaha vadanti. Tajñaha, they talk about. Tajñaha is those who know about this, the vasana. They know about the tattva, they also know about the vasanas. So the wise people say what? Vadanti yaha asmad vimuktaha muktim samupayati. Saha muktim samupayati. One who is free from this triad. Asmad patuvasana trayat vimuktaha. So this vasana traya is a patu, they are experts. They are experts in the field of binding a person. That is why they are called patu. This patuvasana trayam yaha asmat patuvasana trayat vimuktaha saha muktim samupayati. Who says that? This is endorsed by Sajñaha. See? So here Pramanika Uktim is what? This is Sajñaha, they are the Pramana, the Vidvat Pramana. So Tajñaha are who? Brahmavidaha. Jnanis who know the Tattva and they know everything that is needed to complete the journey to become a Brahmavid. So Tajñaha Brahmavidaha Patuvasana Trayam Tanavam Ayatam. So Tanavam Ayatam Patuvasana Trayam, that set of Vasana which has not lessened yet. The effect of it has not gone. Jnanotpatti is there, but Ajnana is gone, but the Moola which can present Ajnana is gone in the sense the Ajnana, either it is Paroksha Jnana or it has not gone completely. Even if Aparokshatvam is there, it is not completely gone because Vasanas, the seed of Samsara is Ajnana. And seed of Samsara, how does it present itself? It fructifies as Vasana. And that resurfaces whenever there is an opportunity. Whenever there is an occasion, when the mind is silent or when it comes in touch with something which triggers the Vasana, these start manifesting in the mind and then they present the obstacle to the Jnani. So Tanam Ayatam, that which has not reduced, it has not reduced, that kind of a Patuvasana Trayam, that kind of a triad. What is that? Loka Shastra Deha Vasana Trayam. It is Loka Vasana, Shastra Vasana and Deha Vasana. Samsara eva Karagraham. So he moves on to the next word here, Samsara Karagraha. So Samsara eva Karagraham. Samsara itself is a jail. Tasmat Moksham Ichchoho, one who desires freedom from that kind of a bondage, that kind of a jail of Samsara. Ichcho Purushasya, for that kind of a person who is desirous of moksha. Ayomayam bahudrudam padanibadda shrunkhalam padayoho nibaddham shrunkhalam iti rupakam. It is, the person is chained. The example is the person who is chained, his feet are chained with a iron chain. Yatha ayasa shrunkala is a chain of iron. Ayasa shrunkala baddha pada yugmaha. This person, so this is a bahuri, one whose feet, the person whose feet are chained together with a chain of iron, that person, yatha gantum na shaknoti, how he cannot move around, similarly you are not free to move around. Because vasanas drive you. See, who is really free? One who has a say over everything. If vasanas make you do what they want you to do, then you are not free. So you should have a say over the mind, you should have a say over your indriyas, you should have a say over your body. So here it is said, Yatha ayasa shrunkala baddha pada yugmaha gantum na shaknoti. Evam, similarly, lokadi vasana trayayutaha Vishnoho paramam padam naiva praptum shaknoti iti abhipraya. Similarly, in the Darshtantika, this person who is bound by by the chain of the triad of vasanas, he cannot attain the highest. The all-pervasive tattva is Vishnoho paramam padam. The highest tattva of Vishnu. Vishnu is Vyapakat Vishnu. Vishnu means the Brahma tattva, also called as Vishnu because it is all-pervasive. That Ishvara. Paramam padam naiva praptum shaknoti. He cannot attain that kind of a status, which is his own swarupa. Because he will always be driven away by vasanas and he cannot stay with himself. His true nature, thereby he cannot attain the highest, the attainment being figurative there. यो नरः अस्मात् पूर्वोक्त वासनात्रयात् विमुक्तः, one who is free from, that person who is free from this kind of vasanatraya. Tanukrita vasana, whose vasana is what? Is lessening and is tending to zero. Tending to zero in the sense, the vasanas which are presenting themselves as obstacles, they are tending to zero. Saha muktim samupayati, that person attains mukti. Yathava jnanena iti shesha. How does he attain mukti? So this is the confusion. Oh, I work on vasanas, then why do I need jnana? That is not true. Jnanena eva moksha. Vasanas kshaya is not moksha. Jnana of Aikya will give you moksha. Otherwise, vasanas, we see Buddhists also, they work on themselves and they meditate and they work on, they attain samadhi, they work on vasanas. But there is no mukti because they do not know the Aikya Tattva. They have misunderstanding of Atma, Shunyatvam or Kshanikatvam. Thereby, or others also, not only Buddhists, Jainas, and then we have so many in the Sampradaya who are yogis and get stuck in Dvaita Samsara. They may get higher gati, but then they do not get mukti, Advaita moksha, which is nitya. They don't get nitya moksha. Therefore, muktim samupayati yathava jnanena. How? Iti shesha. It has to be understood that even, so why it is being said here? Because in the Vyakhya, although it has been said in Viveka Chudamani so far, still if you read the shloka independently, then asmad vimukta means one who is free from vasana, that person will be free. So vasana kshaya is moksha. Vasana kshaya is not moksha. Jnana is moksha. But vasana kshaya can present an obstacle to jnanotpatti also, and it can stop a person from getting jivan mukti ananda. Therefore it is said to be worked on, something to be worked on, and that was mentioned earlier also, that in Jivan Mukti Viveka, Vasana Kshaya Prakarana itself is there, in a chapter on Vasana Kshaya and Manonasha. It is said that helps a person get Nishtha. So you have to understand here that Yathava Jnanena Muktim Samupayati. One attains that kind of a mukti which is nitya. So that is the samyakta in samupayati. And how? Yathava jnanena iti shesha. Others may also have some kind of a jnana. Dvaita jnana is also jnana, but it is not yathava jnana. It is not the way Shruti teaches it. Tatra pratibandhaka vasanapanayane sadrushtantam atmavasana samedhanam karanam aha jaladi ityadina. So atmavasana samedhanam. Samedhana is edam vruddhau. Dhatu is edam vruddhau. So samedhanam, which atmavasana samedhanam. So tatra pratibandhaka vasana apanayane. How can you remove the vasanas? See, vasana is also what the effect of ajnana. And sadrushtantam, giving an example, he is explaining how can you work on these vasanas. So vasanas which are pratibandhaka, they are obstacles. So those vasanas you have to work on. Now those vasanas are overshadowing atma vasana. So both are vasanas. One is atma vasana, I want moksha, that is also vasana. But it is a vasana which is freeing. The other vasanas are binding. So the binding vasanas are to be worked on by the freeing vasanas. If one is stronger than the other, it will overshadow the other. What is the current status in the context? The current status is that the binding vasanas are so strong, they overshadow the atma vasana. Even after jnanotpatti, a person cannot remain there. Therefore, samedhanam karanamaha. This atma vasana samedham. Atma vasana should be grown. It should be cultivated. It should be grown. It should be taken care of. That is the focus. That should be the focus. As long as one is away, one should hold on to this Atma Tattva as much as possible with Neti Prakriya. Then what will happen? The Pratibandhaka Vasanas will drop away and this may culminate into Samadhi, and then the Samadhi Janya Megha will work on this set of Vasanas. So here it is said, through the 274 shloka, that this is the karana. Jaladi samparka vashat prabhut durgandha dhuta garuda divya vasana. So there is a typo here. There is a dhuta here. It should be mahaprana. It should be dhuta. So jaladi samparka vashat prabhut durgandha dhuta garu divya vasana संघर्षणेनैव विभाति सम्यक् विधूयमाने सति बाह्यगन्धे. So the example is of sadrishtantam aha. So sadrishtantam, what is the drishtanta here? Just like agaru. Agaru here, agaru is agarbatti, the way we say agarbatti, right? So there is chandana. So agarbatti, one of these days you get a lot of kind of agarbattis, but dhupa, this is made of chandana. The chandana, the log of wood which is actually chandana, or agaru, similar category, that which is fragrant and used for puja ityadi, puja homa ityadi, that kind of an agaru, when it is wet or dirty, what happens if you keep it for a long time? Some dust may, moisture and dust will come together and they'll form dirt. Or even if it is wet, then it will start to rot or something. Only the covering. Then what happens? It starts to stink. So that it is actually sugandhi padartha. Padartha is fragrant. Chandana by nature is fragrant. And now, due to some accumulation of dirt, it has become stinky. So how do you get back the original smell of the fragrance of the chandana? You have to brush away the covering. So you have to rub it. So you have to rub it and then you have to brush away. Then what you are doing is that you are cleansing it. Like vasanas are taken away. Similarly, in the example, vasanas are taken away by rubbing with Atma Tattva. You hold on to Atma Tattva, that is compared with the effect of rubbing on chandana, where the dirt has accrued and then the fragrance shines forth as in it. You don't have to do anything to make the chandana fragrant. Chandana by swarupa is fragrant. Similarly with yourself, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to gain anything more as atma anubhava or anything else. Just removal of anubhava of others is atma anubhava. So you have to work on removal of others, and that is called as brushing with Atma Tattva in figurative manner. So Jaladi Samparka Vashat, due to influence of connection with, basically due to connection with or due to sambandha with Jaladi, due to association with water, etc., water, dirt, etc., what happens? Prabhuta Durgandha Dhuta Agaru Divya Vasana. That Divya Vasana is now, he is having lot of Durgandha. Durgandha is manifesting instead of Sugandha. Then Sangarshanena eva vibhati samyak. Sangarshanena eva, once you rub it, then only through rubbing, Sangarshana is rubbing, only through rubbing samyak vibhati. That samyak vibhati means that divya vasana samyak vibhati, which is its swarupa. Vidyo manisati bahya gandhe. When after rubbing, through rubbing, when the bahya gandha vidyo manisati, bahya gandha is taken away, bahya durgandha is taken away, which is external because just like koshas are external to you, they are not your own swarupa. Pratyagatma is the swarupa which is Satchidananda. Satchidananda is the swarupa of Pratyagatma, which is your innermost self, but everything is bahya. All these koshas are bahya. Similarly, in the example here it is said that vidyo mane, bahya gandhe vidyo mane, to the chandana, the gandha, durgandha is bahya, sugandha is its swarupa. So Jaladi Samparka Vashat Prabhuta Durgandha Dhuta Agar Divya Vasana. Prabhuta Durgandha Dhuta Garu Divya Vasana is a single word. What happens? That Samyak Vibhati Vidyo Manesati, Bahya Gandhe Vidyo Manesati, Sangarshena, so Sangarshanena Eva Vibhati. Samyak Vibhati, when Bahya Gandhe Vidyo Manesati, sangarshanena eva samyak vibhati. Nothing else needs to be done. You just have to use this Atma Tattva and rub, just like the Chandana is rubbed. Agaroho jaladi samparkavashat prabhutah bahulaha yaha durgandha. So much of durgandha is there due to jaladi samparkavasha, under the influence of it. So it is not by nature it is like that. It is rotting due to some samparka. Yaha durgandha, that stink which is there, tena dhuta guru divya vasana saurabhyam, the smell which is natural to it is no longer there. Sangarshanene eva bahyagandhe viduyamane apaniyamane. Is there a question? Okay. संघर्षणे बाह्यगंधे विजयमाने अपनीयमाने तिरस्क्रियमाणे एव सम्यक विभाति इति दृष्टान्तः. So what needs to be done? Tiraskriyamane, apaniyama, only when this bahyagandha is removed, that alone is sufficient. You don't need to bring about something else. So it is neti prakriya there, just like this is not the durgandha is not the swarupa. What do you need to do? You have to rub off the durgandha. Similarly here, there it is physically rubbing off, here it is cognitively rubbing off the wrong, erroneous notions with the Atma Tattva now. So Tiraskriyamane eva samyak vibhati iti drishtanta. Only drishtanta is mentioned. The Ashtantika is coming in the next shloka. Anta shritananta duranta vasana dhuli vilipta paramatma vasana prajnati sangarshanato vishuddha pratiyate chandana gandhavat sputa. So similarly in the example, what is that? Antashrita ananta duranta vasana dhuli vilipta. What has happened? Dhuli vilipta. It has been this vasana, the smell. Vasana means smell. Literally it means smell. So that smell, which is what? Which actually is fragrant. What has happened? That has now become dhuli vilipta. It has become tainted with dirt, with dhula, with dirt, and thereby what happens? See, in the example, it was the vasana of the smell of the chandana, and in the exemplified, what is this? Anta shritananta duranta vasana dhuli vilipta. What is that? Paramatma vasana. The Paramatma vasana, meaning your own swarupa, the anubhuti or sakshatkara is blocked by this taint of dirt. What is the dirt? The vasanas. Which are the vasanas? Anta shritananta duranta vasana. These vasanas which are anadi kalana, they are there and they seem to be never ending. So many are there. But those which are presenting themselves as obstacles, those which block the sukha, those which block the tattva and nishtha of a person, those have to be worked on. How should they be worked on? By prajna. So prajna is said as prajnati here. So prajnati sangarshanataha vishuddha. So what is the rubbing here in the exemplified, in the darshtantika? The rubbing off is through prajna. So prajnati sangarshanataha vishuddha. Only through this prajnati sangarsha. So sangarshanataha is tritiyarthe tasil. Just like it was said as sangarshanene eva. Similarly here sangarshanene eva. With what sangarshana? Prajnati rupa sangarshana. So prajnati eva sangarshana. That itself is rubbing. That prajna, atma prajna itself is rubbing. So through that knowledge, vishuddha, it becomes pure, as though figuratively it becomes pure, because impurity was never there. You are removing the impurity which you think there is. Pratiyate chandana gandhavat sputa. So chandana gandhavat sputa pratiyate. Then this vishuddha, it becomes, it reveals itself. This Atma Tattva by itself it reveals, because it is self-shining, it is self-effulgent. Antashrita ya ananta bahuvida duranta dushphalada vasana. So there are three words there. Antashrita, ananta and duranta. for vasanas, they are qualified by these three adjectives. He is explaining those. I didn't explain the Moola because Tikakara is explaining those. Antashritaya ananta, bahuvida duranta, dushphalada. So Antashrita, which are there inside. And Ananta, those which are seemingly endless. Seemingly endless, really they are endless because they are from Anadi Kala, they have to be endless, they are infinite. But there is a finite number which is fructifying now. In this Janma, there is these which are fructifying, these which have come as Prarabdha, come about as Prarabdha in this Janma, and thereby they are manifesting, those are limited. Thereby, Antashritaya Ananta Bahuvida Duranta, Duranta means Dushphalada. They give this Anta, the Anta has a different meaning there. Anta is a Phala. Finally, what is the end result we say? So the end is a result. So what is the end result of these vasanas? Duranta. They are Dushphalada. They give very distasteful result. They don't give good results for a jnani or for a sadhaka, for a mumukshu. Therefore, Dushphalada vasana, this vasana which is these vasanas which are Antashrita, they are inside, or here in singular it is mentioned. So Jatau Ekvachana, it is as a set, it is called with a it is mentioned with a singular, with a single vibhakti, Ekavachana vibhakti. Why? Because it is a set. And Antashrita, this set of vasanas, the Trayam, which was said as Trayam, this triad of vasanas is there within, and it is seemingly endless, and also it gives a bad result. This kind of vasana is Anatma vasana. Finally, what is this? Anatma vasana. Vasana not for Atma. Atma is another vasana which is called as Paramatma vasana. So Anatma vasana Saiva Dhuli, that itself is the dirt, like dust, which accrues onto Paramatma vasana. Like the Chandana is tainted with the dirt. Similarly, this Atma vasana is tainted with Anatma vasana. Saiva Dhuli Taya Visheshena Lipta, and Visheshena Lipta meaning Tadatmya Sambandhena. How is the taint? Taint is not possible because Atma, Paramatma is Asanga, but it is said to be tainted. It is Kalpita. What is it? Tadatmya Sambandha, Adhyarupita Sambandha. It is all superimposed Kalpita, that there is Sambandha based on results. I find myself Baddha, therefore there is Anatma Vasana, and this Anatma Vasana, how can I have, although I am Asanga? Shastra says I am Asanga. So it is a Tadatmya Sambandha due to error. Thereby Visheshana Lipta, that is the Vishesha there. Visheshana Lipta, it is tainted in a very particular manner. What is that? It is not real taint the way physically it is there, the way it is there in the example. But here it is cognitive error. That is the Visheshana Lipta. Abhibhuta Paramatma Vasana. That Paramatma Vasana is overshadowed. Prajnaya Tameva Dhiro Vijnaya Prajnam Kurvita Brahmana iti Shrutya. There is a Brihadaranyaka mantra which says Tameva Dhiraha Vijnaya, knowing this Atma, Atmanam with Dhira Vijnaya, knowing this. Dhira is because some rare person who goes against the tide. The masses go with the tide. This Dhira, because he is a rare person who goes against the tide, Prajnaya Vijnaya, through this Prakarsha Jnana, through that Jnana, he knows this Atma Tattva. Through Shastra and Acharya, he knows Prajnaya, Tameva Dhira Vijnaya, Prajnam Kurvita. He should stay with that Atma Tattva. He should bring about this knowledge. Let that knowledge rise in this Antakarana, which is Shuddha, and then hold on to that. Iti Shrutya. That is the meaning of Prajnaya here. There is a shloka which is going to come in the 422nd shloka, where this idea is going to come. So, iti Shrutya, Brahmatmano Shoditayoho Eka Bhava Avagahini Nirvikalpa Cha Chinmatra Vritti Prajneti Kachyate. The definition of Prajna is going to follow in 428th shloka. There this shloka says what? Brahmatmano Shoditayo. This Brahma and Atma, Tat Padartha and Tam Padartha, Shodita, which are purified. By inquiry they are purified, and then purified in the sense they are always pure, but purified meaning the erroneous understanding of Tat Padartha which is with karya upadi and with the karana upadi, maya upadi, and tvam padartha, which is erroneously tainted with the karya upadi, meaning the shariras, panchakoshas, avidya upadi ityadi. They are purified by taking away the upadis. You see through them cognitively using the jahad ajal lakshana or bhagatyag lakshana. So brahmatmano shoditayo eka bhavavagahini. That prajna is what? That chinmatra nirvikalpa, which does not undergo any change. That kind of a chinmatra, brahma rupa, conscious, chid brahma matra. It is only that brahma swarupa. Eka bhava avagahini. There is an ekatva. There is an ekatva. Eka bhava is ekatva. That which lets you stay in this brahmatmana shodita, that jnana. That jnana, aikya jnana, which is what? Finally chinmatra, because once aikya jnana, aikya between tat padartha and tvam padartha is understood, then there are no two padarthas anymore. There is no formula to equation to resolve. There is only the equation also resolves into your own self. So thereby only chid brahma, chidatma remains, and that is called a chinmatra, and that is the vritti. How it is understood? It remains, vritti remains, and then vritti also may dissolve into this atma. So chinmatra vrittihi, that is called as prajna. So prajna, you have to get into this atma tattva with the help of this brahmakara vritti. So chinmatra vritti, that nirguna brahma, that is called as nirvikalpa chinmatra here, that chid brahma and brahmakara vritti, which is going to work on ajnana. It will take away ajnana completely. Till that time you have to hold on to it. You have to bring back the vritti again and again. The same vritti has to be focused on. So in the yoga process you do dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana can be on anything. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, on anything, on Ishvara, on prana, on anything, on a murti, on a picture, anything you can do. On an idea also, an abstract idea also, you can have dharana. But here in Vedantic process, so in yogic process also it culminates in samadhi. In fact they want samadhi, they want chitta vritti nirodha. But how do we land into this removal of vasanas? What is our process of removal of vasana? It is also yogic, but what is the dharana on? Dharana is not on anything and everything. Dharana is on this chinmatra vritti. You start with manana, then once the manana siddhartha is there, which is what? Aikya. That nirguna brahma, which is chinmatra now, you hold on to that vritti. Then that vritti you try to hold on to, meaning what? It does not mean that you stop yourself from going into samadhi. It is you stop that vritti to be replaced by another vritti. Whether it is nidra vritti or dvaita vritti or this prapancha vasana vritti, anatma vritti, you should stop. So what it is being said is that chinmatra vritti is prajna. Through that prajna you take away the vasanas, anatma vasana. How? By not letting your vritti to be replaced. See, in Vedantic Prakriya, the vritti remains as long as it is replaced by another vritti, or it resolves. Now, if it is replaced, like if you are looking at the vritti of hearing is also there, but to understand with drishya is easy. So if you are looking at, it is said, Bhagavan Bhashyakara discusses elsewhere, that just like Ashwa vritti and Go vritti. Ashwa vritti and Go vritti is there. You are looking at a cow which is grazing in the fields, and there is a horse which is passing by. And when that horse passes by the cow, in front of the cow, so it is going to block your view of the cow, and now horse is going to come in between. So you will see the horse instead of the cow. So what is happening? As long as you are looking at the cow, there is a Go vritti. You are seeing the cow, that is the image in your mind. And when the horse passes by, that Go vritti is replaced by Ashwa vritti. Ashwa is a horse, so Ashwa vritti replaces that. So similarly here, Atma vritti is there. Anatma vritti can replace any time. Anatma vrittis are many. Atma vritti is only one here. There is only one vritti, Brahmakara vritti, which is nirvikalpa. It does not have any segmentation. It has no visheshana there which is qualifying it. Without any qualification, it is Shuddha Chidrupa. Chit is that Chit is not a Visheshana, it is Swarupa. So there is no other Visheshana, that is why it is Nirvikalpa. And when that kind of a vritti is there, it should not go into another kind of vritti. That is the meaning there. It can resolve into yourself. That is a possibility, and we don't have issue if it resolves. If it resolves, well and good, because Yoga Shastra is a pramana there that it works on your vasanas. It will work on your vasanas through the samadhi itself generates some kind of punya which works on vasanas. There is a cleansing effect. Iti vakshamanaya. So through this 428 shloka, it is going to be talked about this prajna is going to be defined there. Iti vakshamanaya yad atisangarshanam manasaha kosha asamparkena. So through samparka, what has happened now? Kosha samparka. Now kosha asamparka is there. So through kosha samparkena sthapanam, manasaha sthapanam. It is placing the mind without any association with the koshas. That is called as atisankarshanam. That is cleansing. That is rubbing. Yad atisangarshanam manasah kosha samparkena sthapanam tatah vishuddha. Due to that, this becomes pure. What is that? Vishuddha anatma vasana. Anatma vasana is purified, is cleansed. And what does that mean? Anatma vasana, that nanj is taken away. Anatma vasana, nanj goes away, atma vasana remains. Therefore, anatma vasana asamprukta, without asamprukta means without any samparka. Asamprukta chandana gandhavat sputa pratiyate iti darshtantikam. So this is the exemplified that chandana gandhavat sputa, like the example of chandana, just like the chandana, fragrance of chandana becomes clear. It clearly manifests and you can smell the fragrance, you can feel it. Similarly, this Atma Tattva becomes sputa. You know it yourself. You don't need any other process to get that. There is no real attainment. It is all figurative. It is the attainment of the attained. Praptasya praptihi jnanena bhavati. Uktamartham sangranati anatmeti. Now whatever idea he said, he is summing that up in brief. Anatma vasana jalaihi tiro bhutatma vasana nityatmanishtaya teshan nashe bhati swayam sputha. So anatma vasana jalaihi, through this jala is a group. So through this group of vasanas, earlier it was said in singular. So jatau ekvachana. So jala is a jati. So through a group of anatma vasana, anatma jalaihi, due to this anatma vasana jalaihi, tiro bhuta, atma vasana was tiro bhuta. So atma vasana was tiro bhuta means it was covered. It was covered as though by anatma vasana jala. Nityatmanishtaya tesham nashe sati, tesham nityatmanishtaya nashe sati swayam sputa bhati. So swayam bhati and sputa bhati, by itself it shines forth. What is that? Atmanishtaya, nityatmanishtaya tesham nashe, this atma vasana, which was tirobhuta earlier, which was covered and which was as though not existent, that atma vasana now swayam sputa bhati. Atma vasana is swarupa. Vasana is not really vasana there. Atma vasana means the anubhava or sakshatkara of atma is obvious, because it is all that remains and it is self-effulgent. When every cover is gone, then the light does not have to be lit up again. The light shines forth on its own. Similarly, swayam sputa bhati, when tesham nashe sati. Tesham nashe sati means anatma vasana jala. These are anatma vasana jalas are indicated by tat padartha here with the pronoun tat, and tesham anatma vasana jalanam nashe sati. How nasha happens? Nitya atmanishtaya. With the atmanishtha, which is nitya, it is not once in a while. That is why the study has to be continuous, so that the continuity of study is more important than the quantity of study. Similarly, manana also, continuity of manana is important. Shravana, manana, this should be continuous, and then nishtha definitely has to be continuous, because it is a nitaram sthiti. Nitaram says that it is nitya. You cannot have a break in nididhyasana saying that, okay, let me set aside 1 hour for nididhyasana. It should be continuous. Whenever there is an occasion for Dvaita Bhavana to come up, in fact, I am not saying Advaita to come up, Dvaita Vasana to come up, nididhyasana should be applied as a tool to remove this Dvaita Vasana. Anatma Vishayinyah ya vasanaha, Loka Deha Shastra Vasanaha, those vasanas which are Loka Vasana, Deha Vasana, Shastra Vasana, those are what? Anatma Vishayinyah. Their subject matter is Anatma. Loka is Anatma, Deha is Anatma, Shastra is Anatma. Thereby, these vasanas are what? Their subject matter is Anatma. And those vasanas, ya vasanaha, yaha vasanaha, dambha, sorry, just a second. I'm sorry. So, dambho, darpo, vimanascha, krodha, paurushameva cha. There is a list in the 16th chapter of Gita. Bhagavan gives Asuri Sampatti. Among all Sampattis, what is the wealth to be gained? What kind of wealth should not be gained? He lists those out in the 16th chapter. So there the shloka, part of shloka is quoted here. Dambaha, darpaha, abhimanaha, krodha, parushyameva cha. All of these are what? Ityadina asura sampattitvena. Asura sampattvena. That is the asura sampatti. What are these? Dambaha, darpaha. So all the arrogance, pride, abhimana, ego, krodha, anger, and then parushya. We can take individuality. All of these, the ego and the courage for that kind of a thing which satisfies my needs. All these are what? Are asura sampatti. Asura ityadina asura sampattvena drishyamana manasa vasanascha, which are known. You don't need to tell, you don't need someone else to tell you that you have ego, we know it. We may not accept it, but we know we have krodha, we have raga dvesha. So these are indicative, there is an exhaustive list there. So you can consider anything which is blocking your nishtha as asuri sampatti here. Thereby what happens? Drishyamana manasa vasanascha, which are anubhava siddha for us. We don't need anyone to tell us that you are angry now or there is anger. In fact, we will know that before someone else knows. We may not be able to act on it, or we may not act on it, but still we know I have pride, I have anger, etc. Tasam jali samuhihi atmavasana tirobhuta nyakruta. By these kind of asuri sampatti, our atmavasana is as though subsided. It is as though pressurized into non-existence, as though we don't even think about our own self because of these non-self, because of these which lead to dhrudatvam of the anatma, these kind of vasanas. Tesham anatma vasana jalanam nityaya atmanishta brahmani parisamaptihi taya nashah swayam sputa vivikta bhati. So sputa bhati is vivikta bhati. Without any doubt it will shine forth when there is nasha of what? And by itself swayam, when there is nasha of tesham anatma vasana jalanam, when all the groups of vasanas which are presenting themselves as obstacles which block your nishtha, then nityaya atmanishtha, which should be nitya. Really, that atmanishtha being yourself is swarupa. It is an effect of, it is as though an effect of not becoming something else. Samsara is becoming something else. Pujya Swamiji prefers to translate samsara as life of becoming. So you try to become something you are not. Becoming means what? Becoming is, the general meaning of becoming is what you are not, you try to become, or you become something which you are not. And that is the misunderstanding, that you want to be something else. You can never become someone else. You will always have to come back to your nature, otherwise it is all bhranti. So Atmanishtha is nitya. It is that it should be nitya for moksha, and actually it is nitya when there is nothing else that is happening, which is superimposition. Kalpana is not going on. That time what will happen? Atmanishtha will become nitya. So Parisamapti, that is the conclusion of the journey. Taya nashahat swayam sputa vivikta bhavati. Thereby what will happen? This prajna will lead you to mukti. That is the 276th shloka. अस्माल् लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानुपसंक्रामति इत्यादि श्रुत्या. So अस्माल् लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानुपसंक्रामति, this is a mantra, Taittiriya Upanishad mantra. Asmat lokat pretya. Then what happens? Well, after videya mukti, so once one gives up this body, etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati, one transgresses this annamaya kosha. Actually need not be videya mukti, it can be jivan mukti also. One transgresses meaning one does not have any sambandha with annamaya kosha. With, then there is a sequence of all koshas. So etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati, etam pranamaya atmanam upasankramati, then manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya इत्यादि श्रुत्या शनैः शनैः उपरमेत् बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिन्तयेत्. So what is this process? This process is quoted in Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter. Dhyana yoga is there. So in Dhyana yoga, this so nididhyasana, we need not have any issues of to say that nididhyasana is dhyanatmaka. It is a dhyana only, because at the after the negation of everything, you hold on to yourself is dharana. So dharana or neti neti prakriya are same things, just the mukha is different. Yoga says that you do dharana, you focus on one thing, and in neti neti prakriya of Vedanta, what do you say? You give up all the anatma. Now, is focusing on one thing possible without giving up the others? It is not. It is a corollary. They are corollaries of each other. It is the same thing being said in a different manner. In opposite ways they have been mentioned. So if you say dharana has to be done, you focus on one thing, that cannot be without withdrawing yourself from others. Therefore pratyahara is the earlier anga in Yoga Shastra. In Ashtanga Yoga, pratyahara is the anga which precedes, which is withdrawal from everything. So Yama Niyama, Asana Pranayama, then Pratyahara. Pratyahara is what makes the connection between Bahiranga and Antaranga, Antarangas of Yoga, of Ashtanga Yoga. So Pratyahara means you withdraw from everything and then you land on Dharana, focus on one thing. Neti Neti also, what is this Neti Neti? Neti Neti is going to culminate in what? Is going to culminate in Dharana alone. You will hold on to your own tattva, own swarupa. Thereby what will happen? Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. This is the sequence. See, mind will not work in any other way. Otherwise we have to say the yogi's mind is different from the Vedanti's mind. It is not different. Mind is a product of Mahabhutas, and Bhagavan has made it in such a manner that it will work in such a manner. That's why Chitta Shuddhi is possible by a particular means. Now, based on how much cleaning is needed, the mechanism of cleaning may be slightly different. Based on what kind of a mana it is. The mana in Prarabdha may be, Antakarana may be tuned to a particular nature. So, tuned to a gender also. So, Antakarana of a woman is different than the Antakarana of a man. Although both are Antakarana, science will say both are, whether they say mind, whatever they define the mind as, they may call it as same. Its mind is same. But we all know that the mind of a man, mind of a woman is different. They have various strengths and weaknesses. based on emotions or based on courage, all of these, whatever you can think of, you know that a man's and woman's mind are different, but the process for Chitta Shuddhi is similar, if not same, but it is possible. Why is it possible? Even if you make categories of saying that the minds of women will work in this manner, the minds of men will work in this manner, mind of a child will work in this manner, we know this is the child of a mind. It is Chanchala. It has to be Chanchala. That is the reason that it is possible to make the child stop crying by bringing in something else, because it's Shanika. The kid is craving for something and you replace with something else, with another toy, this kid stops crying because the mana vritti changes. So we know how the child's mind will work. Why is it possible to predict that this is how the child will behave? Generally, there may be exceptions, but they prove the rule. Similarly, you can predict the woman's mind is in this manner. The Shastra says that this is the methodology that the woman's mind can get cleansing. Similarly, this is how the man's mind is. This is how the process of Chitta Shuddhi is. Then, even there are categories. Varna. So, for a particular Varna, these are the gunas which are manifest. How much is Rajas? That Shastra knows, because Shastra explains this Gahana Karmano Gatihi. This, how the karma works, we do not know. It is very, very well kept secret, and it is so complicated. We cannot say that this is how it will work. How a person gets a particular janma, we can give some broad strokes, but we don't know idam itham. Unless somebody has some siddhi and he can see some parts of it, it's a different story. But otherwise, we have to know through Shastra, and Shastra says a person will get a particular varna, particular janma in a particular family, whether rich or poor, or a struggling family or a Vidwan's family. All of these are based on some sanskaras which are ready for fructification, and then they will find that kind of a body, the occasion for that kind of a body to come take janma. This jiva associates with that and gets a particular varnashrama, not ashrama, gets a particular varna, gets a particular gender, gets a particular womb. This is considered only human beings, and then others also there. But for human beings, how this rajas, the rajoguna, tamoguna and sattva mix up and make up the mind, we don't know. But Shastra knows, and thereby the categorization of varna, the categorization into genders, the categorization into anything and everything, all that categorization, but it is a set, a class where what is the mechanism for Chitta Shuddhi is also mentioned. Thereby, mechanisms for Chitta Shuddhi may be different, but they are similar, as in the end result is predictable that there will be Chitta Shuddhi, thereby Jnana is possible, thereby Moksha is possible. We can make all these predictions based on Shastras. And Shanai Shani Uparamed Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya. Therefore, the mind of, I took a detour from saying what? The mind of a yogi and the mind of a Vedanti need not behave differently. They may be trained differently, but how it works when the same vritti is held on, when dharana is done, whether through neti prakriya or whether through holding on to one thing. So one thing, if you hold on, withdrawal is necessary. If you do a neti, you will land on one single brahmakara vritti. Now, the only difference is that yogi can do dharana on anything, but we say when a yogi or a Vedanti yogi, he does dharana on the Nirguna Brahma, Brahma Rupa, Aikya Rupa, Jnana, which has taken place. On that, if he holds on to that vritti, that is the dharana, then it remains a Brahmakara vritti again and again. Now, this may or may not resolve the way it may or may not resolve for a yogi. So, the mind behaves in a similar fashion for both then, when one does this dharana. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi is possible. Shanai Shanai Uparame. Therefore, the Gita Shastra says in the Dhyana Yoga that 6th chapter Dhyana Yoga, Shanai Shanai Uparame. One should withdraw slowly. Shanai Shanai slowly. In a slow, it is not that you suddenly say that, okay, now I want samadhi, I want dhyana to happen. It will not happen. You drop all these expectations and slowly you uparamed, you withdraw from everything. Not that, okay, I'll not indulge in anything, I'll not do anything. So you cannot force your vritti out. you have to slowly withdraw. Thereby buddhya dhriti grihitaya buddhya, through that buddhi which is sharp now. And then what happens? Atma samstam manakrutva, having made this manaha atma samstam, bringing it into your own swarupa, you focus only on that. Na kinchidapi chinte, then you should not let it go haywire. It should not go away from your own tattva. Kinchidapi na chintaye, you should not think about anything else. You remain in that. You should not, you should neither think about the world nor should you think about samadhi. So na kinchidapi, when will I get samadhi? This itself can block the samadhi. Iti smritya cha kathitam artham vasanakshayopayam aha. So this is the introduction to the next shloka here. Iti smritya cha. So iti smritya means with this Gita smriti, cha kathitam artham, whatever idea has been presented in that shloka, in the 6th chapter, 25th shloka, vasanakshaya upayam aha. This is the upaya. Dhyana, yoga is the upaya for vasanakshaya, and that idea is presented in the next shloka 277, which we will see in the next patha. सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरंतम गोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुम प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. Any questions? No questions. I'll see you in the next part. Namaste.